everybody. I'll give you a minute to jump in there. I'm getting my coffee, getting ready to go. I'll be right with you, so hang on. Thank you for joining me for my live today. It looks like my main Instagram is back up, so make it at 11th Mary. Same thing with my TikTok. Thank you so much for joining me today. Gotta grab the coffee, so be with you in 1 minute. All right, we're making something today. All right, oh, I forgot to put some, I need some water. And let's see, I need to fill this little dish up with water. Gotta stir the coffee too. Stir, 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 stir. All right, everybody. You've got Mary Burke Live. Thank you for joining me. Coffee is definitely hot. We are gonna make something today. There we go. I got a little bit of water. I'm gonna have a pad, something for me to dab my brush on. Let's see what I got going on over here. Okay, so, what else did I need? There was something else I need. Oh, a toothpick. My production team is sending me messages here saying, sit down and get to work, all right? All right, thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. Today is craft time, and I am working on this picture. Can everybody see this picture? It's a paint by numbers. So let's see what we got going on here. I thank you. I am simul broadcasting on Instagram, YouTube, my main YouTube. Thanks for having me back. And Instagram, my main Instagram, thanks for having me back. And then also my main TikTok, thanks for having me back. And I think I'm on all the mains, my main YouTube channel. So it is so good to be back. I did get slapped on the wrist for my tool time, I guess was a little too naughty. So anyways, this is a canvas that has paint by numbers. As you can see, I have not gotten very far on this. So, and I wanted to go over, so Tuesdays is kind of an arts and crafts, do it yourself, home-based kind of live. Yesterday, if you were with me, I was showing you some of the raw footage that I had filmed for the grass transplant, as well as the problem that I ran into with my water conditioner. So that was yesterday. So today I want to bring you, I did get a new chubby stick. Clinique's, this is Clinique, and it's a lipstick, lip balm, what have you. And this one is, what did I get? This time I got a berry, all right? A berry. So this is a berry color. Now, what you might not know about these is this little one, if you put it up close enough, it is a mirror for you in a tight situation and you don't have access to a mirror. You can use the end and there you have it. There's that chubby stick moisturizing lip color balm, and this one is broadest berry. There you go, broadest berry. So, and then I also had my new facial, my moisturizer that I use come in today. So I thought which is also a Clinique product. So, and Clinique, I have always used the Dramatically Different Moisturizing for my face. So it only applies, I only apply it twice, once in the morning and once in the evening. And then that is my setting. I don't use any setting, I don't use any foundation. So that's what you get. So I put that on, then I put a little blush, a little eyeshadow, some mascara, and I'm off to the races, and a little lip balm. So thank you for joining me today. That is my product recommendation. I'm not a product ambassador, so I just bring you products that I enjoy. Hi there, Christophe. Thanks for joining me. Michael's here. Make sure that you write comments that I can read. Thank you for following. So yes, probably I forgot to do it on Instagram again, where you can hit the subscriptions. But one of these days I will remember to do that and turn it on there. So sometimes on my live, you can just hit the subscription there. But this is the account for you to follow. This is the account for you to subscribe to. So thank you for saying hi. Make sure you write appropriate comments. I won't be able to respond to you if you're not having appropriate comments. So thanks for thinking I look classy today. Just kind of comfy. My normal tank top, I wore a little plaid shirt over it. Again, I have to be in compliance with all the guidelines. And one of my golf skirts. So this is a skirt. You will see that they have the attached shorts underneath it with pockets. So there you have it. So they have that attached with pockets. Two sets of pockets, inner and outer. Okay. So, and I am sitting on a bench. I have my dining room table. One of them has a bench, and the other on the other side is chairs. Stella, who are you barking at now? Honestly, who are you barking at? Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready to dig into the coloring? Yes. What am I doing today? Today is we are painting by number. I got a grown-up paint by number. And as you can see, I have not really gotten very far with it. I got all the number, somebody gave me a number last time. Now I'm doing 4s, okay? I don't think I have a lot of 4s to finish. So, but we shall see. I am on this big one right here at the moment. So 4 is kind of this lilac-y mauve-y color. So I will try to answer comments. I am simul-broadcasting on 4 different networks, if you will, 4 different platforms at the same time. So I will do my best to try and respond to your comments as long as the comments are. I will let you know that specifically on YouTube, they will bleep out anything that they think that is not appropriate. So if I'm not reading your comment, it is entirely possible that you're not writing an appropriate comment. Thanks for joining in and watching me today. Yes, I am always a busy, busy bee, aren't I? So I've already done the top section. I am in the lower quadrant now of this 4. So I do have to, now I do have to start in. I like to do my edges first and then fill in the middle. Thank you for thinking I look gorgeous today. I do appreciate that. Ross, you have to make sure that you put in appropriate comments. I won't respond to inappropriate. Oh, okay. Thanks for the message about don't touch the peanut butter. I got it. I will not touch that peanut butter. So then I'm just going to fill this in along here. Now, with this, I might need my reading glasses or some additional light. Let's see. Let's see if I end up flooding you with light if I put the light on. That's not the right light there. Let's see. Is that too much light? Let me know. Let me know. Hi there. Thanks for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. This is the account for you to follow, to subscribe to. Today, I'm just doing a little painting. It's craft time. Doing an adult paint by numbers, and I'm working on number 4. Yeah, Saved by the Bell right here for you. You've watched most of my videos. Thank you so much. I have thousands of videos. So, and my YouTube channel, probably has the most videos going besides my other platforms. The in addition to that, let's see, I have like I said, I am simulbroadcasting, so I have so many different platforms for you. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Now, I have other platforms from that as well, but I appreciate this platform allowing me to come live today. The best thing that I can say, if you want to check out my other platforms or go to the other one, they're listed in my links so that you can, you didn't know I had a YouTube, or you didn't know I had a backup YouTube, or you didn't know I had a backup TikTok, or you didn't know any of that stuff. All that information is for you in my links. So you just have to go to the profile page, hit subscribe or follow first. Now, every day I do something different. So yesterday was Tool Time Monday. So I showed you, I can show you, I haven't put it back yet. A filter wrench. So mirror, mirror on the wall, this is a filter wrench. So my water conditioner had a granule or two of dirt in it, and it wasn't having the O-ring sit properly, and it was leaking. This was done by the installer because I hadn't monkeyed with it yet. It was brand new. I just had it installed at this property. And when I went to go pull a plug of grass, which was my main project for yesterday, when I went to go pull that plug, I noticed that I had a leak in the water filter. So I have a pre-filter before getting into the water conditioner. And it can remove up to 5 microns of crap, of sediment that's in your drinking water. So that being said, before it gets into the main one, so I didn't want, and I had the pre-filter in there for that reason, so it can pre-filter it and not clog up the actual water conditioner. So I spent a good minute yesterday morning fixing that when I did my live. Now all that should be posted. So when I did my live yesterday, I brought you the raw footage of that and went over it with you while I was doing my live. And today is a little bit of craft. Tomorrow at 11, we will be doing some workout. So you're gonna have to, last week I did some yoga. The week before that, I did some jumping. I did jumping jacks and jump rope. The week before that, I did golf. So every Wednesday I did putting practice. So every Wednesday will be some sort of sporting, or I'll either be talking about sports or working out. So hi there from Argentina. Thanks for joining me. Hi there, Rick. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Raphael. Hello, AZ. Thanks for joining me. Yes. Am I aware of what I look like? Absolutely. And today I took great care in choosing my outfit to make sure that I was in compliance with all the guidelines, especially since TikTok is letting me go back live. They don't like me in tank tops. So I put on an extra top today to make sure that I am in compliance and not overexposing anything. So here we are, we're just painting by numbers. We're coloring in the lavender. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm glad that you like this live. I have Rusty right here. Rusty, you want to come and say hi to everybody? Rusty is my cavapoo. He's a little puppy. Yes, you are. You one of my puppies, right? Yes, you're a good boy. You being a good boy or a bad boy? Good boy or bad boy? Yeah? Or you're just looking for treats? That's more like it. So Rusty is a cavapoo. He is a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel and a toy poodle mix called a cavapoo. This is his full-grown height and size. He did get fixed a couple of weeks ago. Yes, you did. In the beginning of March, you got fixed. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And then there's Stella. Sit. Be a good boy. And then there's Stella, who is my rat terrier Chihuahua mix. So there you have it. That's it. Those are my puppies, my two puppies. Stella's been with me for 3 years, whereas Rusty has only been here with me for about 6 months. So thank you again for everybody. South Texas is chiming in, thank you. I am doing some adult or grown up, I guess, paint by numbers, just meaning that it is not, it's not for kids. It's tiny little brush strokes. So you have to be rather detail oriented and be willing to stay within the lines. Maybe I should have gotten the kids version, right? I hope you have a great day too, Randy. Thanks for joining, and thanks Irv. Thanks for being here. So thank you. I am gonna tell people, just make sure that you keep appropriate comments, and that we shall be good, and that nobody should be soliciting for anything else in the comments. I have that problem on Facebook a lot. So thank you for everybody for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today is a really kind of relaxed day, right? It's Tuesday. Yesterday was a manic Monday, and things don't normally go your way on a Monday, right? Or at least that's the way I find it to be, is that I usually have whatever you thought was going to happen on a Monday is not the way that it works out. So Tuesday, I always kind of have it as a kind of stress-free day if possible, whereby I can just, take a step back, provided I don't have, I still have my ongoing grass transplant program going on. For those of you that don't know, part of my front grass is in need of a transplant. I have St. Augustine grass, which is more of a weed, and it grows horizontally like a vine and has very shallow roots. It takes deep hold, but the main thing about St. Augustine grass is it doesn't seed. So, you mow your grass, it blows the seed everywhere, and then you have new grass that grows. That's not the case with a St. Augustine grass. So you can do that all you want, but you're not gonna you can cut it and cut it and cut it and cut it and not have new growth, unless that vine regrows and grows in there. So again, everybody, you've got Mary Burke, Make It at 11. This is the account for you to like, for you to follow, for you to subscribe to, for you to So anyhow, I'm trying to find the number that corresponds with over there, to which I don't see it, which I was afraid was going to happen with this one. So I got to look at the picture just for a second while I'm chatting with you, because I know this one here has that blue. Okay, so that does go all, why does that not look like that goes all the way over there? 21 is that ziggy zaggy there. And then we have 5, and then I have 21, then I have blue. No, so that 4 goes all the way, well, okay, we'll see. I'm losing my numbers already. Thank you for joining in from Denver. Thank you for being here. Today is going to be a nice, relaxing day. I am just working on my number 4 here, like so. All right. I usually paint the outline of what I'm trying to do so that I don't miss anything. Okay, now I need to move on to another 4. So we're going to skip that 4. All right. So I have another 4 down here. We're going to come down here. I think that 4 is now complete. So we're going to paint in the lines. Can you paint in the lines? Can you do those brush strokes and paint right in the line? It's a pretty, yes, make it, yes, yes. I'm sharing my favorite, one of my hobbies. This is a new one. I used to do this when I was a kid, used to do paint by numbers. So here's one of my hobbies, is to do a paint by number. In addition to that, I like to do the latch hooking. Last week I brought you some latch hooking. So that is also one of my favorite things. And so tomorrow, every day at 11, I try to bring you something different. So today is the craft. Tomorrow we'll be working out and or sports. And then Thursday is gardening or outside stuff. So we'll see about maybe transplanting some more grass maybe. Fridays is travel and food. Saturday is a mashup, kind of a recap of the week. Sunday is always question and answer. So thank you for joining my live today. Make sure that you hit follow, subscribe, like my live. It is more of a relaxed, the mountain is ready. But I haven't even gotten into the mountains yet. I haven't even gotten into those mountains yet. So this one, let's see if I have a pair of glasses. Make sure, because some of these numbers are really small, even for me. So let me get a pair of glasses out of here. I know you love it when I wear my librarian glasses, right? My cheaters, my readers. I just want to make sure while I have the 4 open, I don't miss any of the 4s. Okay, because there are a lot of 4s in here. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get our 4s on. Here we go. All right, starting over on this side, we're gonna come over. Here's my first 4. Now, I go right to left because I am a lefty. If I went left to right, then I would be writing over I would be painting on what I had just painted. So we don't want to do that. All right. Yes, who are you barking at? Who are you barking at? We have friends out there. So this little one here is a 4. So I'm going to fill that in right there. And can you see it? Can you see the spot that I'm filling in right there? That little tiny spot. Okay, now we need another 4. I see another 4 in here that doesn't have anything around it. There we go. So we're going to fill that one in. These are the itty bitty ones. So welcome. You've got Mary Burke live, and I am just doing some crafts, arts and crafts today. So thank you for joining me during my arts and crafts. Make sure you're hitting make sure you're hitting follow and subscribe. Somebody said that they liked my earrings. They are clatterings. So, and the thing about a clattering is it needs to be a gift. Someone gives you the clattering. You do not buy the clatterings for yourself. And it is heart, loyalty, and love. Loyalty, love, and friendship. Loyalty, love, and friendship. The hands of friendship, the heart of love, and the crown of loyalty. So, thank you for joining me. You've got me live. Huh? You like my puppies? Me too. I like my puppies too. They are quite a pair, aren't they? They're always getting into mischief. They're always, they love to go for walks and runs and belly scratches. So that I'm talking about Stella and Rusty, my 2 puppy dogs. Stella is a rat terrier chihuahua mix, which is guarding the front door while I'm doing this. So, and then Rusty is my cavapoo. So this is just something that I got off of Amazon. It's a grown-up, paint by numbers. I think it's because it's so fine and detail-oriented that they just probably don't recommend it. Let's see, what's the recommended ages on this? It's probably 12 and up, but if I had to guess, paint by numbers. Maybe it doesn't say. But when I did it was when I did a search, I did, because when I put in paint by numbers, it gave me a lot of kids stuff, and I didn't want kids stuff. So, Okay. So it doesn't have an age. Doesn't have an age on it. So maybe all ages could do it. I don't think a young'un could really get into doing this though. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've got Mary Burke Live. Make sure that you hit follow, subscribe, all of the above. So here we go. Here is, hold on one second. I have to ban someone. There was a fake Mary Burke on YouTube. Now that is saying the Mary Burke official. So anybody that saw that one scrolling in there, that's fake. Okay, that is not a real Mary Burke. So just so you're aware, I do appreciate when you put comments in there, and I will try to answer you if you put comments in there. Someone just said that they're from Turkey. Thanks for joining in. Yes. Oh, the Great White Oak. Thanks for joining in, Orden. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. I do appreciate that. I love when people come from different platforms. So I have content that spans all platforms. And the best thing that I can tell you to do is to hit subscribe or follow, and then from there go to my links, because my links will get you to all my different social media platforms. I did not block you, baby. You're here talking to me. Do you want me to block you? That's I can certainly do that. Hi there, Stack from Florida. I as well am in Florida. I have a Devin who says hi, and Anthony is from Liverpool, England. Thank you for joining me across the pond. David is also asking about a different platform that has stolen content on it. Sheesh is all stolen, and if you see that, then you're stealing from me too. You have to go to the appropriate platform. So make sure that you click on my links, because it'll bring you to my authorized platforms, which is where you want to go. You want to go to the authorized platforms. Okay, so because that's got the most up-to-date content, the best quality content, and you get to chat with me, right? And if you want to be able to chat with me, you don't want to chat with the fakes. Make sure you don't chat with the fakes. Hi there, Boy, or thanks for thinking that I look beautiful today. I do appreciate that. Hi there, oh, Angel, for thinking I look super. Yes. I'm glad that you support me or follow me. I do appreciate that, each and every one of you. I do. Yes. All right, I am trying to get these number 4s done, but I will poke my head up and see. Is it cold over here? It is quite warm today. I haven't checked, but it is. I went out for a 1.5 mile walk this morning. So it is currently 72, but mostly cloudy. It started off beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, and now it is getting a little bit cloudy. So, and I like to stick to the same color and do the whole color the whole way through before I switch my colors. So let's see what we got here. Got a bigger one there. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Make sure that you're hitting the subscribe, follow button. After this, today I will be, if the sun cooperates, I'll probably be getting out and playing some golf, or I'll definitely be making more content. I have to get to work back in the yard. And again, Thursdays is my outdoor or gardening day. So hopefully that you will chime in tomorrow at 11 as well. Now, UK is in the house. Thank you for being here. You don't understand why you can't find me on Instagram, TheMaryBurke3. And if you go to my links on TikTok, it'll bring you right to my authorized Instagram. but it is TheMaryBurke 3 all together. And it is my verified account. Look for that blue check mark in my picture, right? That's the Instagram that you want. My nails are not painted, so I have been a long time wearer of the acrylic nails, but they make my nails so fragile. So I am giving myself a break from that, letting my nails get healthy and letting them be natural, right? Oh, I wish I could show you more, but I can't. There are platforms for that where you can, but I can't say anything other than go to my profile and follow the breadcrumbs. Yes. So thank you everybody for joining me today. We are on the hunt for number fours. So I think this is a 4 too. That little one is a 4, yes. This little one is a 4. Okay, so does everybody have a fun plan for today? Are you doing something exciting today or tomorrow or this week? For those of you that follow me or have been following me for a while, Saturday I didn't run, but I did walk in a 5K. So I walked my first 5K in, God, it's got to be 10 years. So that was so much fun that I've actually started walking and or running again a little bit, because I'd like to improve on that time, do some more this spring, and maybe get into running a 5K. So that's some of my goals. So I think it's important for us to have objectives and goals, and I haven't had that one in a while. So thank you, Glove or Jussie, Giuse, for liking my other platforms. I do appreciate that. I can't comment on them because I don't want to get in trouble with the platform that is allowing me to go live at the moment. You're relaxing in the California sun, the fantastic. And VGrew, what am I doing? I am doing a grown-up paint by number. So we are painting today. Do you have your brush in hand? Yes, I've chosen a fine tip because I'm working on small spaces and working on that fine tip brush. It's not the smallest in the group. I do have finer tips. So I went with medium. So this is a real fine tip. You can see here that it's super fine, right? And then this longer one is a bit thicker. So here, this one, the tip is thicker. And then I went in between. So I went with a medium thickness on this so I could get the most coverage of the small spaces that I am working on. So, but make sure you're hitting follow. Make sure you're hitting subscribe, right? I know, it's like watching paint dry. But you should have your paintbrush out and just following along, filling in the holes, right? We're just working on a number 4 at the moment. I have lots of small 4s. So these are all small, right? And we're just filling in, using our brush stroke, painting it, putting as much paint on that little spot as we can, right? We're not working on fluffy clouds. What I'm working on is reflections in the water. So this is going to be the finished product here. It's 29 degrees in New York, 72 in Florida. Thank you for thinking I look gorgeous today. I do have my librarian readers cheaters on today so that I can see the small numbers, because we have moved into small number territory. I'm working on 4s. So now that we're down into this section, lots of little 4s. So, and I don't want to miss any 4s. I don't want to have to come back to them, right? I want to make sure I get them all. And there's lots in here, but there's no 4s. I'm just tracing with my finger, making sure that I have no 4s in there. No 4s, no 4s, no 4s. 14s, but no 4s. 14, 14, 14, 14, and then here is my next 4. So we're gonna put that in there. So there's blues and some reflection mauve colors there in that water that we're painting. Thanks for thinking you like the glasses on me. Yes, I do have to. I do wear contacts, and my contacts are monovision. So my strong eye, I have one that sees far, and I have one that sees close up. So unless you want me winking to see, the best thing for me to do is to put on the cheaters when I'm looking at the fine numbers. Bigger numbers, that's no problem. But when it gets into small things, and they reduce the size in order for me to be able to see these 4s. And I want to also check in my pictures here to make sure that I'm not missing any. 5, 5, 5, 1. Okay. I think I'm almost done with the 4s. Then we get into the boat. You can see the outline of the boat is here. 23s. Okay. 13s. I think I'm done with the 4s. Is it possible? Do you think I'm done with the 4s? Could I be done with the 4s? All right. I'm not seeing any 4s. Are you seeing any 4s? Once some of these have dried, you can see that I didn't give them full brush strokes. So, all right, I'm going back to this big one because this big one says that I should be going all the way up and around. So I am gonna go all the way up and finish this big one up here. Right? So we're gonna work on that a little bit. And again, I am lefty. So we have that working against us, don't we? Oh, Jay's on fear. I don't know what WhatsApp number you're using, but that's not the way to contact me. There's only certain platforms that I reach out, that I will chat with fans on, and you've got to find those, and those are in my authorized links. So if you go to my links on my profile page, you can get there. I can tell you with 100% certainty that any Telegram numbers are scams. I can tell you with 100% certainty Zangies are scams. 100% the Google Chat and Snapchats are scams. Discord is scams. Yeah, all those are scams. I do utilize WhatsApp, but I'm sure that there's a lot of fake ones there. Don't reach out through WhatsApp because that's a sure sign that you're dealing with a fake. The best thing for you to do, and I say this, I talk to fans that do follow the breadcrumbs and get to the platforms where I chat, and then they're like, oh my God, I got scammed by these other ones. And I'm like, I know, but if you follow what I tell you, go to the profile page, click my links, get to my authorized sites, and then you can chat with me. So, someone was putting a fake number on here. Oh yeah, that happens too. If it's the Mary Burke official, that one is fake. So I do have 2 YouTube channels. My main YouTube channel is The Mary Burke, and my backup is Ask Mary Burke. Those are my channels. Anything other than that is fake. So just be careful. I didn't see the fake putting up a fake WhatsApp number. Please be careful. That is not my WhatsApp. So thank you. I will go back and report them. So yes. Just give me one more second and I will scroll up and do that. So if you give me a moment, take care of them. No scamming. So I have some, the landscapers were outside. I have deliveries being made. My puppy's moving around. So thank you for joining me while I paint by number here. Make sure that you have your paintbrush in hand. Use a very light grip on it. You want to take full strokes as you get down into the body of this, this section here. You can see there's a lot of coverage to be had, right? So we wanna, this is probably the biggest one of this color. So it's gonna take a minute for us to get all these paint strokes in. So, but we are nearing the end of that. So I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Yeah, it's been a long time, so thank you for joining me. I am back live on my primary YouTube, on my primary TikTok, my only Instagram, and I believe I'm still on my backup Facebook, but it is my my verified Facebook. So thank you everybody for joining me and being part of this painting. So now I think I filled in this entire spot. So we are going to take this and I am going to rinse it. It's now that it's covered in paint and I don't need that paint anymore, I gotta wash it. So make sure it doesn't get too stiff. And then pull that paint out of it, dab all that paint out. All right, and there you have it. Okay, so now that I'm done with the 4s, you guys can pick a number, right? So, my TikTok account, my TikTok account is, again, if you go to my links, my links in there will tell you what my TikTok accounts are. But I can tell you here that my main TikTok is TheMaryBurke again is the name, and I believe it's at TheMaryBurke again. The backup for TikTok is Mary the Goat, as in goat, or the greatest of all time, right? Mary the Goat, G-O-A-T. So that's the backup. So thank you. No, you're not, you're late, you're much too late. That's okay. Now, what am I painting? I will tell you in a second. Somebody said that there was a scammer putting a WhatsApp number in the comments, to which a lot of those are going to be should be bleeped out. So I don't see it in there, but thank you again for joining me. All right, I don't see it, otherwise I would kick them out. I did kick out a fake Mary already, a YouTube fake Mary. So just heads up, that is, the Mary Burke official is not real. That is not, that is a scam. So that is not me. Yes, you can't see it there in my links. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I will double check my links when I'm done with my live. But it should be Mary Burke again. Real Mary Burke again. Real Mary Burke again. Real Mary Burke again. So that's that one. Oh, I have to close this number 4. All right. So thank you everybody for joining me. We are having craft time today, just a little downtime, relaxing after our Manic Monday, right? Like I said, if you joined me yesterday, you knew that I had a plan to go out and do grass plugs for my St. Augustine grass, so that it would, because St. Augustine grass does not when you cut it, it doesn't release that seed. It has no seeding capability. It is more of a vine that grows along the thing. And when a section goes dead, there's no bringing it back other than to put plugs in, to transplant it. So I was in the midst of working on transplanting it when I noticed my water conditioner pre-filter was not functioning properly and had a leak. It wasn't seeded properly, just a couple of granules of dirt in there, and that's enough to make it have a leak. So it needs to make sure that it is very clean and clear. So I had to use my filter wrench yesterday, which I am now showing you my filter wrench. These things get lost all the time. So I brought it in yesterday to show you, and as you can see, it is still here. I have not walked it back to the spigot and hung it on the spigot. I will be doing that after this live because I need to put it back so I know where it is the next time I need it, and it's handy. So that's the other thing. You need it, but it's somewhere in the garage. You didn't know where you put it. So here's one of the tools that I was using yesterday during my tool time. In yesterday's live, I did show you the raw footage that I have now since posted everywhere on all the different social medias, showing you what I was working on yesterday. So Mondays is a day when you have a plan for something, you got to roll with it, because it rarely works out that your plan is what ends up happening. At least that's my experience with Mondays. So am I wearing flip-flops? No, I have socks on at the moment, but no flip-flops. I absolutely rarely wear flip-flops unless I am at the beach. Flip-flops are not good for your feet. They're not good for your walking. They're not good for your gait. They're not good for stability, for your ankles, for anything other than to get across the sand. So that is the only time you will see me in flip-flops, at the beach or at the pool. But other than that, you will see me barefoot before you see me in flip-flops. High heels? You'll see me in high heels all the time. I love high heels. Sorry, Slot, mafioso. I'll get it out there. But yes, I didn't, barefoot often, socks all the time, high heels most of the time, flip-flops. I have a pair of flip-flops. Let's put it that way. I own a pair that I bring with me either on the boat or when I'm going to the beach. Make sure that you write to me in English, because if you write to me in another language, I won't be able to answer you. This is Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut coffee is what I'm drinking. It is in a Disney mug. So yes, you have that. It is in a Walt Disney World mug. And I'm just having some of that hazelnut coffee. Putting that off to the side. I'm letting that dry for a second before we move on to another color. Now I have colors, so there's 0 through 23. So, and I have already utilized 9 and 4. So I think we should pick something 13 through 0. So 13 through 23 and 0. So you tell me what one, am I artistic? I'd like to think of myself as artistic, however, creative. So I grew up figure skating. And I'm a professional figure skater. So performing and being creative is in my mix. It's part of who I am. Working out, living a healthy lifestyle, arts and crafts, I like them. I'm not very good at them, but I like them. So I bring you a slice of my life. So, and it calms the mind to sit down and focus on those things. Everybody has their thing that just kind of eases them, and if you don't, you should find one that you can just kind of let everything else go, focus on the here and now and the present, and let's have some fun. I'm still sad. I'm always putting up a number. You got 13 through 23 or 0. So. You're wondering if people ever catch my eye? Lots of people in the comments, especially some of my followers, if they chime into my live that are on different platforms, I can catch them from different platforms. Oops, somebody just said something up here. Hold on, right there. Yes, you have millions of Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts. Well, that's where I grew up. That's how I'm a Dunks girl. Exactly. And I even use the extra cream. Now, growing up, they didn't have the extra cream. You had to go into Dunkin' Donuts and say that you wanted, I always said, it was always hot coffee. It was never a latte or a cold coffee, cold brew. It was always the hot coffee. And you would say that I want a regular extra. You would say regular extra because regular was the size. Small, regular, large. So regular extra or medium extra. So those were the two you would say. Yes. So thank you. Nobody's picking a number. All right, so I'm gonna pick a number. I might pick 0. Why might I pick 0? Because it carries a lot of big spaces. So let's do 0, shall we? It's going to be this nice blue color here. I think I'm going to pick my fatter, my flat and my fat. Fat, flat, thick, girthy. This one's way more girthy. Still, the shaft of this is very thin and delicate, so you want to have a nice gentle touch on it. Firm but gentle. You can just lay it in your fingers. And then the flat brush is rather chunky there. So, hello there from France. Yes, welcome, thanks for joining Anne. You're an iced coffee guy? I get that, and I know a lot of people are iced coffee. I grew up with the hot coffee, so I never really got into hot coffee, hot tea. I used to make I would make unsweet tea, and you would put it out in the sun with ice cubes, and you would just make the tea that way. But, and let's get going on 0. 0, 0. So I'm gonna move this canvas more my way and hope that I don't paint myself. Because that might see now, we can get some nice broad strokes in there. Look at that, get some coverage right on there. Look, cover all that up. All the way across. Now, for those of you that are painters, you're gonna be like, that's not the way to do it. Again, this is just a fun craft time. Hello, welcome to all. I have someone joining in from Australia, man from Australia. Austria, not Australia. Thank you for joining me today. You've got Mary Burke live. Yes, so thank you for being here. Yeah, I do appreciate each and every one of you being here. I am just putting on some dabs of paint so I can get the outline going where I want this to flow through. Look at the 0 right here. Lots of coverage, right? Lots, and we can use a nice thick brush, thick paint, paint it on thick. Right, we can use some broad strokes. So when I was using the 4, we were down into the itty bitty stuff, and it was tiny little strokes. But this, you can really have some fun, open it up, and it doesn't mean I'll still paint within the numbers. Paint within the lines. I am infamous for going outside the lines. Right, there we go. As we get into the finer points, we'll have to swap it a little bit. And again, to everybody, I am a lefty, so you will see me working right to left. And on your screen, it might look like left to right, but I am actually operating the opposite way because I am a lefty. And when I do this, I don't want to be going over wet paints, right? So I think that is, and then I gotta get all the way over here. So all of this. So I wanna make sure that I know where I'm painting, how far I have to do the paint, right? As I get into some of the minutia here, into these little spots, like so. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. Make sure you hit follow. Today is Arts and Crafts Day, and you've got me spreading some paint here. I'm on a thicker section, so I'm using a thick brush. You should hold that brush and take some broad strokes. You can take some nice long strokes in there. They don't have to be so short. And then we can work that down. Okay, and then we want to go over here. And the top edge I'm not really worried about because that's going to be off the page. So here I can make sure that I'm got some, here we go. Right there, nice. There, I went with 0. We're doing number 0. 0. So thank you for joining me today. Got Mary Burke Live. This is the account for you to follow. This is the account for you to like. This is the account for you to subscribe to. There you go. And then I gotta get in over here. And I think I'm done with this large brush. I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller brush now to get the finer points across the top. What do you think? I don't think I can use any more without painting outside the lines. There. All right, so now we got some coverage of blue at the top. I am gonna wet the tip and get that color out of it. And then go on to a smaller brush. I did like that kind of medium. I probably could go with a bigger one because we're still not fine point yet. So thank you for joining me. You got Mary Burke Live. Yes, welcome from James from UK. Thank you for joining in. And we're just having some fun doing some crafts, arts and crafts today. A little bit of painting. Now I went with the longer, thinner, the thickest of the thin, if you will. The last one was a flat brush. Now I've moved on to a pointed tip. Again, just holding it nice and loose in my fingers, but giving it some pressure. Oh, you saw me a few months ago when I went to the Adam Sandler concert at the Amelia, when it was still Amelia. Now it's changed again. So they've changed the, that, what is it now, Benchmark? Benchmark. So happy you could, that was a fun concert, wasn't it? Or show. I really enjoy. I enjoy Adam Sandler. Again, it's kind of New England humor. You know, he was a comedian that spent a lot of time in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. So, that being said, all right. So I do, and I like seeing Rob Schneider. Did I get purple on my elbow? It's possible. So thank you everybody for joining me. You've got Make It at 11 with Mary, and I've extended today because I'm still painting, so we might as well just still paint together, right? Let's paint together. So again, hit follow, hit subscribe. Every day I bring you something different. Every day I go live at 11. So tomorrow will be like exercise and fitness or sports. Thursday is gardening and outdoors. Friday is travel and food. Saturday is recap of the week. Sunday is question and answers. So just real informal question and answers. Monday is tool time, which brings us back to Tuesday, which is arts and crafts and house stuff. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And if you don't follow me, you should, because I'm trying to bring you fresh content every day, new content. Like yesterday, working on my grass plugs and my water softener. Maybe today I'll be doing a little golfing, weather permitting this afternoon. I don't know if we have any storms on our way. Now I've got to come in and trace this edging, do the fine point and paint along the line. Try to stay in the line, although that's not normally my style. So if you have any questions, you can certainly let me know as I do this paint by numbers. I got this paint by numbers. It is a canvas and I got it from Amazon. It's more, when I typed in what I wanted, I said adult paint by numbers or grown-up paint by numbers so that I wasn't getting the kids stuff. So this is Zakoto paint by numbers for adults. So, and I'm liking it. I haven't done this in years, and it's good zen. You know, it's fine motor skills and concentration and trying to stay within the lines. I'm not making a Picasso or anything, but I do enjoy this kind of quiet time to be a little bit creative. I know it's paint by numbers, but still, I'm still creating something. Right? You can ask me, Jamie. Doesn't mean I can answer you. Certain things I can answer and certain things I can't. So I am simul broadcasting on my Instagram, my primary, my backup Facebook, which is verified, and my primary YouTube and my my TikTok. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, all going at the same time. So if you didn't know I was on other ones, if one has a better feed for you than another one, you can always pick it up on the other platforms. Thanks for thinking I have a great body. I appreciate that. I do work out every single day. I was talking about this a little while ago. I started the morning with a 1.5 mile walk. I just recently got back into walking for exercise as opposed to walking because we need to walk. Walking for exercise and, hold on, TikTok wants me to do a verification. Make sure that I'm still here and I'm still live. So here you go. Put the thing in the box. Put the bunny back in the box. There we go. So I should probably just end that TikTok. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 11. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will still be live on my other platforms, so you can jump over to those, check out my links, and I will see you again tomorrow. Okay, so before I get in trouble, because that's usually the way that goes, and okay, dismiss that. Okay, so I want to take a picture of that so I know what I was doing. Come on. All right, so now I'm back live with you. Excellent. So, all right, as I fall into my chair there. All right, thank you. So now I am sticking live. See, that's the other thing with TikTok, is I'm happy that they allowed me to go live on my main account over there. But it tends to happen that the longer I stay on there, the more likely somebody's going to report me, because that's just the way they are. Thank you for thinking I look beautiful. I do appreciate that. Sorry if you couldn't see me. I did have to jump off screen for a second so that I could take care of the TikTok one. So, and bring that one down. So, anyways, anywho, so recently I just started walking for fitness again and doing some jogging. I enjoy that physical activity. I do weight training. Every day I do lift weights, and I do try to stay in good cardiac health. So working on that cardio. Now, I am going right to left only because I am a lefty. You think it's cold? Well, the AC just kicked on. It was 72 degrees out, so it's not cold. I am just always excited. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you're hitting follow. Make sure you're hitting subscribe. Make sure you're checking out my profile links and going to my my other social medias, because in the profile links, that'll get you to my authorized. You want to go to my authorized websites or my authorized social medias to make sure that you're not getting scammed, because there are a lot of scammers out there pretending. And I even had a scammer here on the YouTube live. Usually it happens on my Facebook live, where they try to jump in and pretend to be me. You can see my hands are otherwise occupied, so there's no way for me to be able to put in there phony numbers or phony addresses or anything of it like that. So I do have platforms that I chat with my fans on, but it's not here, so you have to go to those links. Again, you got to find the links, follow the breadcrumbs, and get there. So I do appreciate both my main Facebook, oh no, it's my backup Facebook, my main YouTube, for allowing me to go live again. Yes, Jamie, what's that question? Yes. What is your question? I gotta know. Oops. I may have to take this. Hello? 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 Anyone there? Hello? It was my accounting software calling me. All right. So I'll have to, oh, they might be trying to sell me a product. I was changing over. For those of you, I missed last week's Thursday and Friday and Saturday, I think. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for my lives. Or it might have been Friday for sure. But because I had to fire the accounting company and go with QuickBooks and have my in-house accountant take over the reins because of the company, because my accountant was mishandling stuff. So I told them 6 ways from Sunday, stuff that I wanted, and I would go back and I would ask the accounting people and they would say, oh, well, I handed that off to so-and-so, or, oh, I don't know the status of that, and then never get back to me. So not good, not good. And they're a pretty reputable firm in Tampa, and I had to let them go because they, the account rep that they ended up giving me was always passing it off, the buck off to somebody else. So, and if an accountant should be accountable for their actions. Hi there. Can I wear my leather jacket? It is not cold out for me to wear my leather jacket. Leather, and there is, it is only, it's in the mid 70s, so. I save my leather jacket for when it's muy frío. So, and it is not muy frío at the moment. Thanks for thinking I look good from the Netherlands. Thanks for joining in. Yes, do I wear my leather jacket? Of course. I have two beautiful jackets. I have one in black, which is more of a moto jacket. It's a short black jacket with the side zip on it. And then I also have my tan, really, it's a faux fur on that one. It's faux leather, but it is, and it has that shearling inside, the real kind of farmy look to it. Yeah, like I am in the Netherlands or something. So, but it is very warm jacket. I will give you that. Both of them are jackets. I don't have long coats. I did have a really long leather coat, which is suede. It's beautiful, also with faux fur on it. And I have to find a good leather cleaner because it got a stain on it that I have to get out. Not a Monica Lewinsky stain, but it does have a stain on it. So, and it takes away from the jacket. So I need to find a good leather cleaner. Thank you for joining me. You got MaryBurke Live. Yes. Do I like cars or bikes? I am a car type person. I was just talking about this with somebody else recently, that I have the quads. So I have the four-wheelers, and I do love my four-wheelers. But I also have a side-by, the golf cart, and cars, and I prefer the cars, the stability and the security, or more security than the bikes. I'm not a daredevil. I mean, I've flipped the part of the reason I do these also. Part of the reason I do these is for fine motor skills. 3 years ago, I injured my hand and my shoulder because I rolled my side by. And when I rolled my side by, I broke a bone in this hand, and you can see it, it doesn't sit right. So there's a big bump there. And it's not a cyst, that's the bone. But I work on my fine motor skills to make sure that I don't lose functionality in my hand. And but that was even with the side by. So somebody was talking about, oh, you should get a slingshot or one of those. And I'm like, I saw a slingshot accident when I was in Myrtle Beach, because they have those, they have the two in the front, wheels in the front, and then the one in the back. And it was demolished. And the owner of that, the driver of that did not walk away. So I'm all for thrills, but I want, but not that kind of thrill. So definitely cars over bikes. Thanks for your question, though. So thank you for joining me. You got MaryBurke Live. Again, this is the account for you to follow, subscribe, join. I'm using 0 on this. I've moved across the paper here, so I've moved across the canvas on you. And I'm taking some finer brush strokes here. filling in the edges. You can see that some of the paint is already drying as I get to the edges because I did the middle section first with the broad. Now I've got to go in and do the, normally I'm one that traces the edges and then fills in the middle, but I was so happy to use a big brush. A lot of this has been such a small brush that I was really looking forward to getting some broad strokes in there. You can still take some long strokes with this thinner one, but it is more detailed work, right? And I'm going opposite what people would normally do. I'm going right to left because I am a lefty. I am a southpaw. So yes, I already answered you, Jamie. I do wear a leather jacket. Yes, I do. I do have a leather jacket. I wear a leather jacket when it is cold out. So, absolutely. All right, everybody. Is everybody having a good time? You got your paintbrush out? Do you have your paintbrush out? You should have your paintbrush out. Dip it in the paint. Get a good coverage on there. And then take those long strokes, or if you got to take those short strokes, when you're in tight quarters, you got to kind of take a tighter stroke in there. But see, here I can do, it's thin, but I can do a long stroke all the way in and all the way out. There we go. Get that all covered, like so. Excellent. And I love working those, right? And then we get this curve here. We can work that curve up and around. Nice long strokes again. Do I like older cars, the classics? Yeah, I do like classic cars. And what's really funny is I saw something from the 80s, and it had an antique plate on it, and I'm like, oh man, no, that's just wrong. That's just wrong in my opinion. But I guess it is a classic, so. The muscle cars to me are still in that 70s. It changed in the 80s. They weren't really as muscly, in my opinion, as they were in the 70s. They were faster, but not as much muscle. You know, I guess. So I don't know. It's just something about those 70s cars. Maybe because they didn't have all the safety features, right? Thank you for joining me. You got Mary Burke. We're just having some fun and doing some arts and crafts and painting here. So hopefully you have your paintbrush out and that you are helping me dig into this zero, this pretty blue zero color. We get lots of coverage in this pretty blue zero, and we are stroking away. There. And make sure that you get all the nooks and crannies too. You don't want to miss any. And make sure you overlap. You don't want any laps in color, any laps in paint. You want to paint the whole inside the lines there. All right. Remember, this is the account for you to follow and to subscribe to. There's lots of fakes out there, and I don't want you to fall in with the fakes. I hear from somebody every day that has been scammed and has finally found me, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize that you've been telling me all along to go to your profile page and click on the links and follow the breadcrumbs to get to be able to talk to me. And but a lot of times people, you know, think that they want to do it a different way and that they can, and they just get scammed. So I don't want you to get scammed. Yes, doing those long strokes, yes. You want to make sure that it's smooth and even, right? That you're not dabbing at it, that you really work it all the way from that tip all the way through. Yeah, and get a nice, and you're just really doing that. So you make sure that tip has got good coverage on it. And then it's that pretty blue, and we are just working it and taking nice long stroke. And if you go in one direction, you should go back in the other direction, right? All the way up, and then all the way back. And if you gotta go around a curve, you gotta go around a curve, right? So, here we go. Now it looks, but now with the 0, it being such a broad amount of paint, I actually feel like we're getting somewhere, right? Don't you feel like we're getting somewhere? Before I was, my last lab, I did all these little blues, and that was more or less just so I could become familiar with the paint and the canvas and what I was working with. But the canvas is pretty easy to work with. It's pretty smooth gliding, right? But, if you don't put enough paint on your tip, you may have some bare spots in your coverage. So you definitely want to make sure that there's enough paint on there. And again, I'm trying to stay within the lines. Doesn't mean that I always stay in the lines. There we go. Almost done with this big blue. Big blue is almost done. And then I can move on to a smaller blue, a little bit lower. And then we get the up in the corner. Don't forget about the corner. Okay? Get up in the corner here, make sure that you got a good stroke there. Again, I'm not so worried about the edge because the edge is, gonna be covered. But it's the inside lines that you want to try to stick to those inside lines and just swirl that tip around. Make sure you get all that paint covered. Go back over it, nice, long, smooth. Yes, smooth swipe. Another smooth swipe. And there we go, like that. And now, that little blue is all done across the top. What do you think? I do have more zeros. I have this big 0, I have that 0. Oh, these are all littles. Okay, so now we get into the little stuff. And we get into some of the minutia here. Okay, so we're gonna start, I start on the right because I'm a lefty. So we're just gonna paint right here. All right. Get up and over it a little bit. Lean up and over. And I'm painting the top. I'm letting the bottom dry a little bit because that's where I finished up my number 4s. And now we went on to the 0s, like so. There. Okay, one done. Let's move on to the next one. This is a nice little circle, so we can just circle that in, right? There we go. Circle that one in. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. Let's have some fun painting. How long have I been doing this for? 83 minutes. I've been doing this for 83 minutes. Thanks for joining me while we paint right here. Okay. When I finish this line, I will finish. I do have people that I have to answer and go out and see about the sun and then see about golfing. So there's lots of stuff I still have to get accomplished today. So I do appreciate you taking some time out to spend painting with me. See, so now I might want to use the flat brush again, just because that's a lot of little. I like give it a good big stroke there. So I'm gonna put that there. Have some extra. Okay. I'll get to that one. Don't you worry, I'll get to it. Hi there, Minister. How are you? You want me to do some breakdancing? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Make sure this is a 0. It is a 0. fine point on one side and then coming out like a triangle kind of on that. Or like a teardrop. More like a teardrop. There we go. Okay. These are all zeros. Like that. So make sure you're hitting follow, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you check out my profile links so that you can check out my other social medias. I did turn off I was broadcasting on my YouTube, on my TikTok, my primary TikTok, Real Mary Burke again, but I have a tendency to get into trouble on there, so they were letting me go live, so I shut that one down before I got in trouble. Always best to do that, right? Shut it down before it gets in trouble. Oh, yes. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Yes, I'm doing well, Blake. Thanks for joining in. All right, we're just painting, trying to do some nice long strokes on these thin ones. Fill it all in, get all that paint in there, nice and good. Yeah, swirl that paint on there. There we go. Get some good coverage right there. Okay. All right, so we are doing good here. Oh, this is a tiny little dollop. All right, tiny little one. Okay, and then I don't have any zeros and that sort of stuff there. My next zero is over there, down there. So I do want to put a little dollop there, so I'll remember to go back to that. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday, right? Hi, everybody. Hi there, Queen. Yeah, I can't show you anything here, but you can go to my other platforms where I can show you. And the best thing I can do there is tell you to go to my profile links after you've hit subscribe or follow, and then you can see all. But you've got to, you got to go where I can show it, because I can't do it on this platform. I get in trouble. So go where I don't get in trouble. And that is by using my authorized sites listed in my profile links. So, all right. So now I'm getting a little bit, probably a little tired or something, because now I'm being a little bit sloppy and not sticking to the lines. Trying. Maybe I have too much paint on my, I don't think you can have too much paint, do you? Yes. When, every day I do release new content on all my different social media platforms, so you should make sure that you chime in daily, because I am all about giving you up-to-date content. Today was some fun painting by numbers. So tomorrow will be, my live will be fitness and workout. So workout Wednesday. So we'll pick something to do tomorrow during the workout. So that's always a fun one. Yes. Yes, get back to the painting, right? Have me work those fine motor skills, make sure that my hand doesn't cramp up. So I've been working this fine tip now for 89 minutes. So we are doing good, right? Doing good with that. Well, let me take some of that off of there. I got some extra paint. So fill in the blanks, like so, like so, like so. And you will see me doing this. It looks backwards probably to you guys, but this is righty for me because I am a lefty. So there you have it. I still have a lot of paint up there, so I want to get rid of that extra paint that's wicking all the way up. All right. Now put some more on just the tip. We're just putting some paint on the tip. I am doing well, Anathasios. Thanks for asking. Thanks for thinking I look good today. I am trying and failing at the moment to paint within the lines. So I do appreciate each and every one of you joining me today. Make sure that you're hitting follow and subscribe. Today is a really kind of low-key kind of day, doing some arts and crafts. And you should join in. Take your paintbrush out, right? And get some good strokes in, like that. You're trying to stay within the lines and not spray that paint everywhere. Not so good at that. I tend to go outside the lines. So, there you go. All right, almost done with this one. All right, and then I got a little zero over here. And then I got another little zero over here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining me, you've got Mary Burke Live. We're doing a little bit of painting. Oh, in case you can't see him, I'm off screen there. Are my teeth my own? Yes. Yes, they are my own. They are my own. So, of course, I do have, like, my molars. There's some teeth that I've had some root canals on and have had some crowns and everything else. But, yes. It started out with braces. And back when I was getting my braces done, they were of the thinking that they didn't expand your palate or make your mouth bigger for overcrowded teeth. They pulled teeth. So I actually had my the pointy teeth were pulled. So that's part of the reason that I have something, you know, they look so even. But that was way back in the day when that was how they corrected it at that point. Let's see. Okay, there's a big zero there. So let's do this zero here. All right. And then, let's see if I have any more zeros beside that big one over there. Now make sure it's a very delicate touch when you when you're holding your when you're holding your paintbrush, make sure that it is a gentle but yet firm, sturdy hold on it. Somebody asked what type of companies do I own. So I own my own marketing company. It's a internet marketing company. I also have part ownership in a real estate company and part ownership in lots of different companies. But those are the ones that I'm mostly involved with. My background is in accounting and finance, so I also consult with various companies that are in need of forensic accounting. And I do some consulting for attorneys in that venue as well. And I saw that there was another zero. Where's that zero? Oh, this big zero right here. That one and that one. All right. So let's get down low in here. I'm almost done with the zeros until I get to the bottom. But I'm not going to paint the bottom now. We're just doing the tops. We're just painting the tops. not painting the bottom. And I'll go to midi here, but the bottom is still wet, so I don't want to have my paint run by putting wet on wet. I want that other section to dry and harden before I paint on it. But we're safe because I was only doing it down in this section. So if there's any zeros in this section, I'm gonna hold off on that until the next time that we paint. Where did I get my paintbrushes at? They came in the set. So I was given these fine point ones, 3 of these fine points, this being the thickest of them, I think. Oh no, maybe I went back to midi. So the little one, the thick one, and then the medium one, and then a thick flat. Yeah, much thicker flat one. I didn't get them at the store. They came in the kit. This is just a little hobby. I'm not proficient in it, and I'm not trying to be a Picasso or anything. So I just went with the supplies they gave me. If I really like it and get into it, never know, maybe I will buy my own paintbrushes. But I went with what they gave me. You're at Disneyland? Aw, I haven't been to Disneyland, gosh. They're over 30 years since I was at Disneyland. Yeah, I do go to Disney World often. I am an annual pass holder at Disney World, so that you will see me there often. In fact, last week I was there. I went to their Irish festival for St. Patrick's Day down at Disney Springs. They have Raglan Road, which is their Irish restaurant and pub, and Irish step dancing. I brought you some of that content, so that should be up there as well. So there. All right. Hope that you're enjoying this downtime. I don't put any music on in the background. Again, it's kind of quiet time. And every time I put on music, again, it's just another reason for the platforms to take exception to what I'm doing, right? So, because it seems I never use their even if I use what they say is authorized, I still tend to get in trouble. Some of them, I get, oh, this was copyrighted, or oh, we muted the sound here, or blah, 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 blah. Excuse after excuse after excuse to slap me on the wrist. All right, we're almost done here. Thank you for joining me. It has been so fun chatting with you today, or having you listen to me babble on and talk about painting. Right? I hope that you have enjoyed painting with me, and make sure that when you're done, that you clean your paintbrush, clean your paintbrush. You don't want to put it away all dirty. It's just going to lead to a bigger mess to clean up later. Sometimes it gets too stiff, and then you have to put a special cleaner on it. Here we go. All right, painting the line, so then I can do broader strokes once I get the edges all painted. So. All right. But it's good to take some time and de-stress, right? right? Absolutely time to take some time, de-stress, enjoy the quiet, enjoy just doing something that engages your mind and your hands, but doesn't tax the brain, right? It's quiet for the brain. And I think we all need something like that. I think I got it. That one's a tricky one. I have trouble more with the right sides of things than the left sides of things. Again, I am a lefty, so that's how that comes into play. Okay, now I'm going to swap it up and move on to the bigger brush. To get some broader strokes, something that's thicker and gets more coverage. There we go. Cover more area and a couple of swipes, a couple of strokes. Again, you want to make sure that you have plenty of paint on that brush though, so it doesn't run dry. All right. A couple more strokes and we are done for the day. I think we got a lot accomplished today. I appreciate you being here with me and helping me get some painting done. Did I miss any? I'm sure I missed some. Does anybody see any more zeros? I know I got zeros down here somewhere, but I'm staying away from the bottom because this is all still wet. I can see that that's still wet, and I got zeros in there, which I don't want to overlap, and I got a lot of zeros in there. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. You've had MaryBurke Live, and now you can see we've got a little bit more of the canvas painted, right? So when I am done, it's supposed to look a little more like that. So we shall see. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Remember, this is Make It at 11 with MaryBurke. You've had me live. Today was a more decompressed, just relaxing kind of day, doing some arts and crafts. Tomorrow we'll be back at it again. Tomorrow will be sports and fitness, so Workout Wednesday. So make sure that you tune in at 11, and same time tomorrow. More fun awaits us, and we'll be back to full energy tomorrow. Same to you, Robert. Have a wonderful day. Justin, same to you. So enjoy. Hi there, Jamie. Welcome. I am going to be checking messages. It will not be maybe I'll heart and comment back on these platforms, but just be careful not to be duped by the fakes. Make sure that you're really chatting with me. Go to my profile page, click on my authorized links to make sure that you are actually conversing with me and that you are following me on all the different platforms, because there's a lot of fake Marys out there and I don't want you to get scammed. All right. Wonderful chatting with you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. See you tomorrow.